Like I said, welcome to Raconteurs News. As you can see, our guests this evening are Max Igan and Vinny Eastwood, and we were going to be the last show before Max flew out to Acapulco, but that's not going to happen. We're going to get him to, when he's back, if he's done his cup of tea, and get him to explain why he's not going to be going there. What's going on with you?
I'm here, brother.
Oh, yeah, you're here. All right, Max. So, why don't you explain to everybody why you're not going to be at Acapulco this coming week?
Well, I slipped on my wet steps 2 days ago when I was walking out to get my washing, which I was washing to take to an Acapulco. I slipped on the steps and landed on my ankle and sprained my ankle, broke my foot, broke 2 bones in the top of 2 bones in the bottom of my foot, and fractured 2 bones in the top of my foot, pulled all my ligaments, twisted my ankle, and yeah, I've got to go back to hospital in a week to see if they need to put some screws in the bottom of my foot to hold it back together. It's all been kind of pulled apart. So it was a pretty bad sprain. It was a pretty bad little trip down the stairs. So, and at the moment, even if I hadn't done that, it's been raining all night and the creek's flooded, so I can't get off the property anyway. Interesting how that works. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff has conspired to keep me here, and here I am, and here I will be for the next 6 weeks until this foot heals.
Oh my God, man! God, you could have just said no. I don't want to go to Acapulco.
Yeah, I could have just said no, I don't want to go. I can think of easier ways of getting out of going to Mexico, you know. But I actually was kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I wanted to see all my friends, and my intuition was telling me I shouldn't travel, but I was doing it anyway. A lot of people were warning me, saying, we just don't feel comfortable about traveling this year, Max. You should stay home this year. But I went, no, I'm going to persevere. I'm not going to let people down. I've got 3 or 4 gigs booked. I'm not going to be letting people down, you know. And then when I'd made up my mind that you're not going to be keeping me back, I'm leaving. That's it. Bang, slip on the steps, break your foot. Creek floods, you know, I don't know what else will go on. Maybe we'll have lightning strikes and fire from brimstone and stuff today, so who knows. But whatever's happening, they certainly don't seem to want me to go to Mexico, so here I am, yeah.
Well, everybody, Acapulco's loss is our gain, because otherwise we couldn't have had you on. You'd have been disappearing on a train, wouldn't you? So I
would have had to have left in an hour.
Yeah,
I would have had to have left in 1 hour from now and run off to the train. But yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I would have liked it, but anyway.
We've got a lot of people on Facebook, and we've got a load of people on YouTube. Plus, we've got all Vinny's team along as well.
We've got 36 watching on one stream and 10 watching on the other.
And basically, Max, there's loads of info that we'd love to get out of you. And Jason's the man for that, because I think he's spent quite a bit of time watching the stuff that's been happening to you in the past few weeks, and then how it's sort of gone on from there. And I know Jason's got some probey questions for you. So
well, no, not really probey. First of all, everybody, I don't want you to go through. I think everybody's that's going to be listening to this show has heard your story and probably seen the videos that you did. What I was wondering was, how have you found anything different since that's happened? Do you think that since that's happened, it's been for the better or for the worse? You know, how do you find, because for 24 hours there, you had a huge load of new followers and new people that were hailing you and everything, you know, the flat earth people. And then that sort of went away after you came out with the second video. So how are things settling down? And are you getting on an even keel?
Yeah, no, I feel good. I've noticed that my voice chatter has stopped, which is interesting. I don't have that constant internal dialogue that's going in the left brain all the time. That just seems to have gone. My health seems to have improved a little bit for some reasons. I don't know, but it was a crazy time, and I've actually had a lot of information sent to me recently about MK Ultra, mind control. I've been contacted by 7 or 8 people now who've had similar experiences. One woman who actually said exactly the same experience, rectangular light that hit her on the head. She thought she was the second coming. She thought the earth was flat. They locked her up for 3 months. Yeah, it's been a really, really interesting thing. I mean, I look at it as something positive because I got through it, and I have a point of reference for that now if it happens again. I mean, I don't have to wonder about targeted individuals anymore. You hear so much about this sort of stuff, and I've often wondered how to take it. I mean, I know there are targeted people, but some of the stories you hear, you don't quite know how to take it. But well, it's happened to me now, so I know exactly how to take it. I can totally understand these people. I don't think I was supposed to get through it as quickly as I did. There's a few extenuating circumstances as well that I wonder about. Some of the people that I saw prior to this event happening, someone that come and gave me some food and a few things like this, I kind of wonder how they found me, how I was targeted. I wonder if something was done to help that happen, when I think of the food that was brought to me or whatever. But I just could just be being paranoid. I don't know. But I wonder how they got me. But I also wonder how I got through it. I mean, I think I was supposed to just go completely nuts and end up in the nut house or something like that. And I think if I'd been in town, I very likely would have. It's the fact that I'm out here in the country and I had good friends around me, because I had a full meltdown for probably like 3 to 5 days. It was, I couldn't make any rational sense out of what happened to me. On the night that it happened, I was just completely, not even myself. And the second night, I had a night of complete horror, and just horror. As soon as I lay in bed, I just felt horror, just through my body. Not even terror, not fear, just horror. I felt like I was in a horror movie or something. It was really, really bizarre. And so, yeah, going through all that sort of stuff, it's really hard to put it in terms. It's really hard to put it in perspective, and it's really hard, difficult to still make sense out of it. But, I think I got through it pretty well. I'm kind of surprised that I got through it as well as I did. But it makes perfect sense for me to have done it when they did as well. It makes perfect sense for me to be targeted like that, because I was reaching so many people with the fire videos, and they needed to have me discredit myself. And I found it a little bit disappointing that the flat earthers made it all about flat earth when it wasn't. It was about someone's personality being flipped. It isn't a matter of whether the earth's round or flat or someone having a belief system. It's a matter of someone's personality being flipped. If people looking at those videos, that first video that I uploaded, which I could not upload, I had to upload. It was like the meaning of my life to upload that flat earth video. I felt like I would die if I didn't have it uploaded by midnight,
Max, do you mean the one that was about 6 seconds long?
Oh, both of them. I had to get that one up before midnight, or I thought I would die or something. It was really weird.
And just to explain to people, for those that don't know, where you live. I
live out in the rainforest. I live out in the creek. Like it's bizarre. I'm not anywhere in town. I don't have any Wi-Fi around me. I mean, I live out in a valley out in the country. I'm surrounded by trees and wildlife. And, I'm lying in my bed in a shed. I don't even live in a house. I live in a shed. And it's a tin shed. I don't even know how they can direct you with technology through metal walls. But, it's really bizarre. It's kind of unnerving that I could be hit by something while I'm lying in my own bed in a shed out in the jungle, Well, it's not really jungle, but it's rainforest.
Well, and Vinny, I just want to bring Vinny in here. Vinny, you did you had a 2-hour conversation with Max not long after this, and I remember you did a 2-hour video. I think you said it weren't going to be very long, and it was still 2 hours long, which I saw some bits. I didn't see it all. But what was your first thoughts when you first saw the videos, or when you first were aware that something was happening? There was some shift going on.
Well, I never actually saw the video kind of thing. In fact, I got woken up at like maybe 6 o'clock in the morning by a listener of mine calling my house, and then woken up out of bed at like 9 o'clock at night with another listener calling my house. So it was basically my listeners letting me know something's up with Max. You got to talk to him and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I can take a hint. And so I gave Max a call. Wasn't there. Gave me a ring back. Told me what happened. And I was like, wow, he's not in shape to do a show at the moment, and he's under huge harassment from trolls and stuff like that. So why don't I just do a live stream and, explain to people what happened and stick up for him a little bit, as a friend does.
What was that phone call like? Did you call Max or did Max call you? I'm assuming you called Max.
I rang him. He wasn't there, and then he just called me back. So
right. So you yeah. What was that initial phone call like? What was I'm interested to find out. I mean, did you say? I mean, what you doing, Max? Or,
well, you remember the video that Max uploaded after he did all this. Explaining everything and what actually happened and that kind of thing. He basically just told me that. So, you know, it wasn't anything that anybody didn't find out a day or two later when he uploaded the video sort of thing.
Did Max seem distressed or spaced out or different? How was he different? Because he must have been different.
Well, people had just told me that he was different and stuff like that, and he seemed a little manic, you know, like kind of like that. Like Max can get elevated and vibrant and what have you, but this was a little bit different to that. It wasn't like the usual kind of thing. It was more like I don't know if you guys ever seen a crackhead or something like that. You know how they're twitching and their ideas go flow and stuff like that. Now I've seen these exact same symptoms before a number of times when I've had targeted individuals come to my house and try and tell me their story, their ability to stay on track for a conversation. No, it's
they're rattling, aren't they? Just rattling.
I mean, and that's a clear case right there. You know, it's either they've been on drugs for a very, very long time and managed to somehow conceal all the symptoms all that time, or they've become a targeted individual with some kind of technology that I'm not entirely familiar with. But, you know, it's not surprising really, is it? You know, considering how much videos he made about the bushfires and how important that coverage was, you know.
Sorry. Go on.
The point I wanted to make when I just got you, Max, to tell us about where you were living and describe that, because for you to actually upload a video, you know, sometimes you've got to like leave the house. It's not you're not like us who can just sit in our warm, centrally heated places and just upload something because we're plugged in. Well, for you to actually get a video out when your body's screaming at you that you've got to do it. That's not a little thing for you to do. It's, you know, just tell
exactly.
Tell about that.
I actually had people here. There was a healing going on in the Maloka, like a yoga session or something. Here we have a Maloka on the property, and I was fully parked in. I couldn't even get my car out. And if I want to get a video uploaded, make me 12 and a half hours to upload a 1 hour video from my place here. And if I go into town, I can do it in an hour and a half. So I was parked in. I just had to get this video uploaded by midnight. It was like 10:30 or something, and so I did a 6-point turn in my car. It's just moving like a couple of feet at a time to get my car out of the driveway, and I drove down the side of the house here, like through the bushes, scratched my car up, drove over the edge of the front steps of the house, over the edge of the fire pit, and round through the tiny little freaking entrance by the Maloka down in the front of the yard, in the opposite corner of the yard where I live, while the Maloka was full of people doing a yoga session, just to get into town to upload this video. Like it was the meaning of my life. I could not upload this video. You know what I mean? I had to get it done. And I wasn't able to observe all this. I look back at it now and I just kick myself like, what the fuck? Why weren't you observing yourself through this? You were just caught in this adrenaline. But the adrenaline started about 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it built up and built up and built up. And then I got hit that night about 12:30. And then the next few days was just a roller coaster ride, you know, for so many cultures. Why do you think that was? And we used to live in a harmonious world. If you look at some of the work I've been doing on ancient history and stuff, and there's so much more to explore with that, but we lived in a very harmonious world. I don't believe history at all. I think our history has been completely fabricated. All this history we're told of this feudal cultures that went up through thousands of years, I think it's all rubbish. All of it. I think we lived in a worldwide culture that was very harmonious, beautiful architecture, good people. We all got along, and that symbol was everywhere around the world. So I have no problem with that symbol. I do not believe the official story of World War II. I don't believe one single thing that I'm told by this government or by this media or by the history books or by the education system. Not a word of it. I don't care if people think that I'm mad or not. You know, been fortunate enough to travel a lot in my life. I've been, almost all around the world, almost every country. And I've spent a lot of years doing it, and I've seen a lot of stuff. And when you get out and look around this earth, it tells you a completely different story to anything we're told by any aspect of this system. So if they want us to hate the swastika, well, I suggest that we should look into the history of that symbol and why they would want us to hate it, because everything they tell us is backwards. I know people that have got Buddhist statues all around their houses with swastikas all over them. You can go to Mongolia, find the swastika everywhere, find it all through Finland. You find Buddhist statues everywhere with the swastika on them, Hindu symbolism everywhere with the swastika all over it. Japan, you'll find it in every single country. So, and like I said, all you've got to do is go and look on Google Images, and you'll find out that it has nothing to do with the Nazis. The whole World War II Nazi thing was created to create the situation that we're in now. Nothing they tell us is true. So I don't know why anyone would believe them on any points. And like I said, if you do believe the government and all of this stuff, well, what are you even doing here listening to a radio show like this?
Just a couple of things out of the chat room, Max. Somebody asking where the word Nazi comes from. As far as I know, it's nationalist Zionist, is it not?
No, it's actually a abbreviation of the initials for the National Socialist German Workers' Party.
That's the way.
Okay, there's a question.
There's
a question there that's been sent to me. Misha would like an explanation from Max why I ban people. I ban people who insult me. If you come and you call me a shill and you call me an agent, I'm just going to ban you and tell you to go get a life, go to another channel. You're not here to discuss anything. And why I won't discuss New Zealand with PK on a stream, please. PK was a friend of mine on Skype for a long time, and he tried to convince me, like every time there was a shooting, he tried to tell me it was fake. And I'd look at it and I'd go, I can't call it on this. It's a bad phone footage, low video compression. I can't call it. When he couldn't get me to start promoting the concept that all shootings were fake, he started bad-mouthing me for about a year behind my back. And then he attacks and insults, and he's made hate videos about me and all sorts of stuff. PK doesn't want the truth. PK just wants to be right. That's all he wants. PK is only interested in promoting the concept that all shootings are fake. He is absolute confirmation bias, and he is a nasty, horrible, toxic little man. He has sent so much hatred my way. He has trolled my channels. He has encouraged other people to troll my channels, and they are not open to discussion. All they are there to do is promote hatred and to push the divide and conquer agenda. PK also was ringing up nurses and abusing them in hospitals in Melbourne here, and made the mainstream news when there was I think it was a totally staged attack in Melbourne. There was a car driving around, there was a so-called terror attack a couple of years ago. PK was calling it all out as fake, which it probably was, but he was also ringing up and abusing nurses and telling them that they're having fake victims in hospitals and stuff, and recording and posting it on YouTube. He made the mainstream media and gave the independent media in Australia a very bad name, made us all look like nuts and conspiracy theorists. And he's been so horrible and nasty and insulting and toxic to me that I have lost all respect for him whatsoever. He even took a hypothetical section out of a video and made it appear as if I was saying comments I didn't say. He has done everything he can to try to create conflict with me, and I have no interest in talking to such a toxic man. That's why I will not debate PK, because PK is not interested in the truth. PK is only interested in being right. Because the truth is that nobody knows what happened at Christchurch, and the truth is that we can expose the government hands down without any debate, speculation, or conjecture at all by simply saying, if it was a lone gunman, who are these people? And that's all that needs to be said. All the rest is noise. And PK desperately wants to hide that from people and have arguments about whether the shell casings are real and whether the gunshot damage in the windscreen was where it was supposed to be, and all sorts of irrelevant rubbish, which does not lead to freedom. It just leads to me winning the debate and being right, and I'm king of the pile, come subscribe to me. That's what it's all about. That's not about truth. It's not about freedom. It's not about anything, and it's childish. and I don't want to know about it. That's why I have no interest in talking to PK. I have absolutely no respect for the man whatsoever. He could have approached me and been a human being about things, but he chose not to. So that's the way it is, and I have nothing more to say on the issue.
Well, I chose to not ask you that question because I don't know the guy in question, so I don't know of PK or any of his work or anything like that, which is why I chose not to ask you the question. You know, like you said, there's trolls.
Look, you know, so many people put out so much stuff about Christchurch. The stuff that was put out by David Robert Steele saying this is all this, and these are barefaced lies, not misobservation, just barefaced lies. The shooter's video clearly reveals the government is lying. We got them with their hands in the cookie jar. And there was so much of these so-called truth movements, so-called independent media that chose to hide that fact and argue over details and try to be the king guru to get to the top of the pile and give me all your subscribers and I'm the one who got the scoop. It was absolute bullshit. And what we've seen is the people of New Zealand suffer. We've seen massive internet censorship come out and everything I said was going to happen from that event. And if people had got some focus on it rather than arguing over the details and wanting to be right, we could have really done something with that, because that was a gift to us. That shooter's video was a gift. Never before in the history of false flags have we seen things so clearly revealed as what we saw on that video, without having to argue over any of these details people were trying to argue about, which was all video compression and all sorts of stuff. You can sit there and debate it for months, and all you're going to do is see what we've got now. All you've got to do is say, if the official story is true, then who are these guys? That's it. End of story. And nobody wanted to focus on that. And all I did was get attacked by it. And people like PK, this little dipshit who just makes hate videos and wants to be right, won't get a grip on reality, won't get a grip on freedom, and see how we're losing our freedom right now. And it's not about being right. It's not about being a hero. It's about exposing what's going on here and getting the human race out of the clutches of these fucking psychopaths who are killing us. That's what's important here. And people need to get some fucking focus. That's what needs to happen. So fuck you, PK.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck you, PK. And getting a bit of perspective.
When Max sits on the fence.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was really funny actually watching Max's interview with what was the name, Jim Fetzer, and Jim's like, "Oh, he shot through the windshield, and the windshield didn't even crack." And then Max shows him a picture. Here's the windshield cracked, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't see that." It's just like, it's right there, circled in red. I mean, am I some kind of like shaman sitting on the edge of the sea? I can see the invader's ship, but my foolish village people can't. You know, they're all singing YMCA. They don't see what the fuck is going on in the goddamn. See, it's just the thing.
But the thing is, even arguing over those details is that's not what doesn't matter. What matters is that they said it's a single gunman. If it's a single gunman, who's this guy in red standing by the fence? Who's this guy looking in the window? Who's this guy standing by the driveway when he walks in? Who are these two guys in the car that drive out halfway through? If it's a lone gunman, who the fuck are these people? That's all you need to say. That's the point. Argue about all the other stuff all you want. It's completely irrelevant. It's noise. It doesn't matter, because the official story said it was a lone gunman. And we can prove by that video that that's a barefaced lie by the shooter's video itself. End of story. End of debate. Work out the other shit later when there's a proper investigation. No point being this hero truther trying to argue about it. We've got a real opportunity for freedom in this video if people can get some focus on what they're really seeing here. And why, within 3 hours of that shooting happening, were all these reports put out by shills like Fetzer saying, oh, CGI showcasing, all this shit, all of this stuff to misdirect you away from what was in your peripheral vision. Because when I saw those reports by Fetzer, I got really excited. I thought, wow, we've actually got them staging this with CGI. And I looked at it and I went, no, I can't call this. This is not CGI. I'm seeing the shell casings appearing on the ground. What I'm seeing is video compression. You know, and so when I looked at that and I disproved every single thing they were saying, I said, well, what else don't they want us to see? Why has the focus been put on here? And I looked at the rest of the video, and then I saw the guys in red, and then I saw the car leaving. Then I saw all the markers. I saw all this stuff, which shows exactly how they run these operations and how much we've caught them and how deep their hand is in the cookie jar with this thing. You know, but there was, and that's why the reports came out claiming it was all fake within 3 hours of this happening. Because they didn't want you to look at what the video was actually showing you. They wanted you focused on all this stuff and arguing over the details, same as they did with 9/11. They really, really messed up this video, and they had to diffuse what that video was showing you straight away, and that's what they did. Everybody took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, man. Hook, line, and sinker, because they went in there with confirmation bias. Oh, I'm going in there to prove it's all fake. Why? Why don't you go in there looking for the truth? Why don't you treat it as a standalone event? You can't judge it on what they did in the Boston bombing or what they did at Las Vegas or what they did at Sandy Hook. These might have been fake, some of these events, but this is a different event. You can't say because they were fake, this is fake. You can't do that because they're going to mix it up. It will be stupid for them to do that, you know. And like I said, you don't even have to argue about that. All you got to do is say, well, the official story says it's a lone gunman and the video shows it's not. That's it. End of list. End of debate. There's your focal point. Mission's done. The game is fucking won. Why didn't anybody do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, guys. And good to talk to you, Vinny. Don't be too lonely, brother. Give me a call if you ever need to. We don't chat much. I mean, we should. But, yeah, give me a call sometime. And we need to get some unity and some focus, folks. Stop hacking each other down. Stop arguing over details. Yeah. I'm sick to death of the trolls. I'm sick to death of people trying to hack me down for simply having an opinion. If you disagree with my opinion, well, that's fine. I might change it soon because, you know, I don't have to be right on anything. You know, it's all part of the journey, trying to find a way through this mess and establish freedom. That's what all this is about. So let's turn this into a freedom movement and stop it being a subjective truth movement, which is what it is, because it isn't a truth movement. There is no truth movement. What there is a bunch of people locked into their egos arguing over their belief systems, because the truth is that no one knows what the truth is. You know, a lot of people have got an idea what the truth is, but nobody knows. You know, so let's focus on backing each down. You know, ultimately people, and it's those who are controlling the people. If the truth movement is going to fight against each other, or the resistance is going to fight against each other over their belief systems, then we've already lost the battle. So, you know, it's about time we grew up. And I'd like to see that. And that's the only way we're going to ever have a positive future. Otherwise, there's no point even doing this. And I know what Vinny's saying. You know, it is hard getting hacked down all the time. And I get it. I get hate mail. I get death threats. I get people wanting to bash me and all sorts of stuff. So that's just the way it is, you know, people using your name to hack you down and get subscribers to their channel by posting hate videos about you and stuff like that. I mean, moral integrity of these people. You've never seen me post one hate video about anybody. You've never seen me go into battle with anybody on YouTube. All the people who've posted hate videos trying to get me to respond, you know, you're just childish little turds. You should get over yourselves, because all you're doing is supporting the government agenda. Anytime you create a video to hack down anybody in the resistance who's offering an opinion, what you're doing is you're doing the government a favor. So you people need to grow up and then realize what the focus should be here. We've got to establish the freedom we need to you know, get out of this mess and to find out what the truth is. But ultimately, the truth is that we're in a prison system. Everything's a lie. Everything's backwards. And the very division that they promote on us and that most people on YouTube are promoting is the very thing that's keeping us in that prison. So, yeah, let's get some focus. And thanks for having me on, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Max.
Because the truth is what you make it.
I just want to address this comment. I can just see we've just listened to you burn our ears out with angry words about another person who disagrees with you. No, you've listened to me respond to a hateful little man who has been attacking, insulting, and defaming me for the last 2 or 3 years. And that's my first response to it. That's not a person who disagrees with me. That's a person whose last words were, I will destroy you, you can Skype. That's the last thing he said to me. So, no, you haven't listened, you burned your ears off about someone who disagrees with me. It's a little man who is on a vendetta. And that's childish and stupid, and it only serves the government. And that's, like I said, that's not someone disagreeing with me. That's just someone being a turd. And I have no problem calling him out on that. And that's the last thing I want to say about him. What I said today is all I have to say to him. He has the respect for me of a gnat or a mosquito after what he's done.
I think we've got it, Max. I think we know.
I think we got the gist.
What I love is, though, you know, whoever comes on, you're just going to get their truth.